Hello everyone, this is Ajit Kumar. My name is, and I'm studying my bachelor's in computer science at Southeast Missouri State University. So here I'm going to start my presentation on my information retrieval. The course is Advanced Database Management System. I'm going to discuss about the abstract introduction, indexing, retrieval models, indexing process, and the history of IR types of queries in IR systems and conclusion. Coming to the abstract, in computing and information science, the information retrieval is the process of obtaining information system resources that are like relevant to an information need from collection of those resources. Full text or other context-based indexing can be used to conduct searches, the science of searching for information. So like this, those can be used for that, and also there are like two main models of interactions with IR systems, like retrieval and browsing, which although like similar in goal and it's accomplished through different interactions with it. Um, like retrieval is concerned with the extraction of relevant information from a repository of documents through an IR query, like whereas browsing signifies the exploratory activity of a user visiting or navigating through similar or related documents based on the user assessment of relevance. um Coming to the introduction, when the user like enters into a query into the system, the what this retrieval process begins, like queries such as search strings or like in search web engines, or like any formal statements of information needs. A query in like query information retrieval does not like what is this it is like does not uniquely identify a single object in a collection, whereas it like instead it's several objects make a match the query, like possibly with varying degrees of significance. Like an object is a physical entity represented by data in the content collection, or like a database user queries. So coming to indexing, like in contrast, in contrast to database systems, IR does not restrict the user to specific query language, or do not expect the user to understand the structure, or like content of the specific database. IR systems interrupt a user's information which is needed or exposed, like expressed as a free form search request, like also known as keyword search query or like simple query. For decades, the field of information retrieval has dealt with cataloging, processing, and like access text in the form of documents. However, like web search engines like have now became the dominant way to like found information. Coming to the retrieval models, here we are discussing about the Boolean model, vector space model, probabilistic model, and semantic model. Whereas coming to the Boolean model, like in this, like documents are represented in the terms of like in a set of terms, like queries or formulated or, as a combination of terms, like using the standard Boolean logic. Whereas like the vector space model provides a framework in which term weighting or ranking of retrieval documents, and like determining the relevance or like feedback, or like possibly like n dimension, like using individual terms as a dimension. Like each document is represented by an like n dimensional vector of values. And whereas coming to probabilistic model, the similarity measures in the vector space model and the are somewhat like ad hoc. For example, like the model assumes that those documents closer to the query in cosine space, or like most relevant to the query vector. In semantic model, like however, like the sophisticated model, like it's became statistical model, like they can miss many relevant documents because those modules does not capture the like complete meaning, or matching instead of the index term. This allows like retrieval of relevant documents that are like meaningful associated with other documents. Coming to the indexing processor, there are like different types of user datas and information needs, as well as the size of and scale of information. Um, in this like it will all contribute to the classification of IR system. and like different IR systems are like created or to address specific models, which will be using for the classification of IR system, or like specific problems that necessitate the structure of various characteristics. These characteristics are summarized and like below, whereas like structural analysis and tokenization, like types of users, types of data, and types of information needed. Coming to history of IR systems, since ancient civilizations devised a method to organize, store, and catalog documents and records, like information retrieval has become a common task. Like in ancient times, papyrus scrolls and stone tablets were used to record documentation information. These efforts like enable knowledge to the preserved and like passed down from the generation to generation. Large scale methods for producing or collecting, achieving, and distributing the documents and books involved with introduction. Several techniques were emerged in 1950s, including some of the proposed using words and frequency counts as indexing the model. Mm, And coming to the generic framework, here you can see the documents where we use for document one, two, three. We use for like that will be like processing and modeling the and also we are indexing, like which we are inverting, like inverted index construction, or like that will be used, and which the search intent will be using keywords or booleans, something of those like it's a simplified IR processing pipeline in order to perform some retrieval on the documents. The documents are first represented in form suitable for retrieval. The significant terms and the properties are extracted from the document and are represented in a document index, where the words or terms and like their properties are stored in a matrix that contains each individual document in a row, and each row contains the reference to the words contained in those documents. Coming to the types of queries in IR systems, the it was we use keyword queries, boolean queries, phrase queries, proximity queries, wildcard queries, and also natural language queries. In keyword queries, these are like simplest and most commonly used for forms of IR queries, whereas some IR systems allows using and or not operations like Boolean operators in combinations of keyword formulations, and requires the both terms of found. Uh, Whereas phrase queries, when documents are represented using a inverted keyword indexing for searching the relative order of the terms, like in documents is lost. Proximity search refers to a search that accounts for how close within a record, uh, uh, what multiple terms should be like used each other. The most commonly used proximity search option is like phrase search that requires terms to be the exact order. Coming to the conclusion, the information like to be stored is like frequently variable available in the form of natural language, which is like text, and like mechanism that we are used to represent the text, like include both controlled and uncontrolled vocabularies, like which together are like or separately comprise the indexing language. Mm, the the retrieval of information items that relies on like item or like representations rather than the natural language text of the item. That's it about my presentation. Thank you for giving me this opportunity.